Okay, welcome to my very first YouTube production, where we're going to talk about turning this big 55-gallon drum into an off-cut storage trolley. One thing to note is whenever you cut the top off one of these things, make sure you get all the gas out first. Use a drill, don't use a grinder, get the first hole, and then cut the rest with a jigsaw or something along those lines, just to ensure you don't get a fire. So the next step, taking the drum and whatever scrap timber you have to make a base. I've utilised an old kitchen table, which is laminated pine, and I've just cut it to a size that's practical for my space. You could make it as big as you wanted. You could use multiple barrels, all sorts of different things. But in this instance, I just wanted something small and snug that I could tuck away out of the main space on the floor. So using L brackets, I've stuck it down, and then using a bit of timber, I've run that across the base with the casters underneath, just to make sure that there's no flex. Now you'll see that the L brackets, there's only two of them, they're only there to ensure that the thing doesn't slide around. The side piece there is to put smaller portions, smaller offcuts in of flat stock, and then in between that and the barrel itself, you've got a space where you can pass through larger materials. And you've also got a situation there with the barrel full of stock, and that side piece is now nice and balanced, so it's not going to dig in. I've also looked around the shop, and I had a whole bunch of PVC pipe, old 100mm pipe, and I've just chopped them off in different sizes at 45 degrees at the top, and then nice and square at the base. The whole purpose of these, the 45 degree cut, you'll see shortly, it's easier to screw them off to things when you get a bit of access to the top section there. Square at the base, they'll then go into some end caps that I picked up in the hardware store. And I've used sizes here just so that you can put different size offcuts and be able to get to them easily. If you've got a long pipe and a small stock, you won't be able to get to it. So I've taken the end caps and I've just pre-drilled them so we can use a smaller screw without cracking the plastic as you drill it down. And the whole idea of these is that they'll sit on the base. Over here you'll see just one's going corner there, and that'll just screw straight down, and then it's much easier then to, instead of trying to screw, because the drum has ribs, instead of trying to screw off to the whole thing, you can just push it in and then screw off at the top. So then putting the PVC pipe in, you can see what the 45 cut there is for. You can screw it at the top, and it just sits in the base or in the end cap nicely. And then putting in the multiple different sizes, etc., just once again going around and screwing all those end caps in the way that you want them, and then putting the pieces in. Finally, I've just given it a quick coat of black gloss, just to make it look a little bit prettier, so that you don't have all your used materials in different colours and different shapes and sizes looking out of place. It's just nice to keep it all nice and neat and tidy, I suppose. And it's only $5 worth of paint and a couple of minutes, so it's well worth the effort. And then finally, have a look what it looks like once you finally put your stock in there. All the offcuts, this is basically bits and pieces of everything. You can see the pass-through, which carries all the larger material. And then straight up and down, you've got some of the larger bits of PVC pipe, which will take anything from aluminium and steel and wood. I'm using it for every sort of offcut that I've got lying around the shop. Lots of aluminium pieces there as well, and bits of pipe, etc., that I can utilise for the job. Now, one thing I might do down the track is put in some four-way partition in there, just to have a little bit more separation of the timber and the metal, etc., but also things will stand upright and a little bit more easier to get to. Also, I think one of the more important things to think about when you're doing this is the size of your offcuts. You don't want all long pipes, because if you have all long pipes and you have shorter material, you put it in there, you won't see what you've got there. Whereas if you've got all the different sizes, you can see whatever offcut it is that you need. It's easy to get to. I go straight to my offcuts before I can buy any sort of material, just to make sure that I'm only buying the things that I need, let alone having about buying stuff that I don't need. Then around the other side here, you've got that little offcut for flats, little offcut storage space. This is fantastic for all sorts of things, the tin, whatever. So I hope you enjoyed the video. As I said, it's my first, and if you did like it, please subscribe and hit like, and any comments, put them down below. I'd love to have a read and see what you think. And I've got lots of great projects coming your way, so keep an eye on the channel. We'll see you next time.